Good evening. Good evening. How are you? How are you, please?
Fine, sir.
I'm good, sir. Good evening.
Yes, please. Good evening. Good evening. So basically, if you can, before starting, tell me what exactly you'd be asking me questions or what exactly?
So your question is your designation according to your designation.
No, basically, what you'd like me to talk. That is some. That is what I was wondering. So that I.
Sir, based on your journey, your qualifications, that's all.
Acha. Okay. 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 Fine. So you please tell me. I am all ready.
Okay.
Now let's start the conversation with
Okay.
consultants,
Just
episode
one minute. Just
52.
1 minute. Just 1 minute. And how long I need to talk so that I can be sure I can frame my.
50 to 55 minutes only.
Acha, but in between you will be asking me questions, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay, and please switch on your webcam.
Sorry. Yeah. Is it okay the camera position or you
Yes,
want
sir.
me to do something?
That's perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Let's start the conversation with consultants, episode 52. Moving ahead, I am Rima Kumari, HR Associate and ACR Coordinator of SKNG.
Good evening, everyone. I am Pooja Kumari, HR Associates and Audit Coordinator of SK Associates and Group, and we both are your hosts for today's talk show. So please kindly introduce yourself first.
I am Dr. Vedabhyas Kundu and I live in Delhi. I work with Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti, the National Memorial of Mahatma Gandhi. I've been doing work in the area of non-violent communication, non-violent conflict resolution, media literacy, how it's important to be media literate in today's world, the whole realm of digital media literacy, and also in areas how we can bring in the elements of non-violent communication in the age of artificial intelligence and the metaverse.
It
Perfect.
sounds good, sir. Moving ahead, the only thing that stand between you and your dream is the will to try and believe that is actually possible. It's a beautiful quote quoted by Joel Brown. So this quote I would like to our talk show name conversation with consultants with episode 52 of our guest talk series.
Yeah.
Before we begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under the MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. Our mission is to provide consulting services to student entrepreneurs globally, covering areas such as compliance, operations, marketing, research and development, human capital, strategy, and operations. Our passion lies in helping these budding entrepreneurs bring their dreams to life and contribute to global economic growth.
Entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It's a powerful force that can reshape industries, transforms lives, and make the world better place. We are committed to supporting students, entrepreneurs on their journey, equipping them with the tools, knowledge, network they need to succeed.
Okay, moving ahead now, before we begin our show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Vedabhyas Kundu, Programming Official Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti. To this special event, we are truly honored by your presence today and we are thrilled to have you share this momentous occasion with you. Okay, now start. We would like to start this interview with our first question for you. And your first question is what inspired you to join Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti?
Yes, Pooja ji. You see, basically, Gandhi Smriti is the national memorial of Mahatma Gandhi, the place where Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. You see, I'm always been interested to work for in the areas of peace building, in non-violence, and also in the essence of human values. That's so very important uh, in our contemporary world. So I thought it would be nice to work in a place where that those are the core values. When we are talking about satya, ahimsa, truth, and non-violence, and compassion, trust building. So these are the epitomes where we learn lessons from the Mahatma. So that is one of the reason possibly I felt could be the place where I could work.
Okay.
Nice, sir. Moving ahead, your next question is: what are your primary responsibility as a programming officer?
You see, actually, it is program officer, not programming officer. Here, you see, the overarching goal of Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti is to take forward the life and message of the Mahatma Gandhi to all cross sections of the society and all across the country. So we work extensively with large number of academic institutions, universities, colleges, and other institutions, different government departments, so on and so forth. Like we have worked with even stakeholders right from the judiciary to the police to say home guards to teachers, both school teachers and college teachers. So it's a wide, almost all stakeholders, and the focus is on how we can integrate many of these Gandhian values in emerging domains of knowledge today. Also, how we can integrate the Gandhian values in work while working in our contemporary society. I will give it, for example, an example. For instance, when we are talking of the judiciary, we have been conducting workshops for the judicial officers on how we can use non-violent communication for better interactions between the bar and the bench. Similarly, we have developed the whole program on the Gandhian approach to mediation. So, for instance, like it is away from the traditional approach to mediation. So, we are promoting the Gandhian approach to mediation. So, similar, say for instance, there is a issue of workplace conflicts. So, how we can integrate Gandhian approach to conflict resolution for a harmonious workplace environment and conflict de-escalation in the workplace. So, these are different areas. Like for instance, when we are talking of training school teachers, so how we can use the different dimensions of Gandhian philosophy for more effective classroom management practices, enhancement of socio-emotional learning among students, and of course, enhancing the learning outcomes. So you see the whole range. When we are talking to children, students, both college students and school students, you see everyone is having an issue of mental health in today's world. So we have on how we can bring in the ideas of non-violence, the philosophies of non-violence, and the values of Mahatma Gandhi to the whole realm of positive psychology, wherein it would mean that how it can help in stress reduction, depression management, anger management. So you see the wide framework on how we can work with students like children or youth. Of course, it can be for others also because there is an issue of mental health for everyone today. So, how Mahatma Gandhian philosophy can be integrated to the core principles of positive psychology and contribute to our happiness and our well being?
Great, sir. Moving ahead, next question. What challenges do you face while promoting Gandhian philosophy today?
Yeah, I think that's a very pertinent question because what has happened over the years is that we have actually we look at Mahatma Gandhi only as a historical figure. But if you see, when I'm talking that we can bring in this whole realm of Gandhian values and Gandhian philosophy, linking it to the areas of positive psychology and contributing to our well being, our inner peace. Every one of us are searching for inner peace today. So, how it can contribute to our inner peace? And when it contributes to our inner peace, how it can contribute to our outer peace, how we can have a positive and peaceful coexistence with everyone. because large number of people across the world, in fact, are facing the issues of relationship problems or relationship traumas and various other traumas. So here we are saying that it's such an important, some of these values, if we are able to inculcate them, it actually contributes to our well-being and our happiness and inner peace. Similarly, also we are talking about, say, mediation, for instance. So the Gandhian approach to mediation contributes and helps in relationship strengthening of relationships between two antagonistic parties. It can be in families, it can be between colleagues, it can be between anyone. So, but when we are looking, when we go only for the traditional approach, so there are a lot of misconceptions, things like that. Of course, we need to remove those misconceptions. But the most important thing is that unless and until we integrate his principles to the emerging domains of knowledge and also to the emerging contemporary issues and concerns, as I said, right from mental health issues to relationship management to anger management, which are very practical. Every one of us get angry, like say Pooja ji or Rima ji, all of us or Veda Vyas, everyone gets angry. How we can use his principles for anger management, and he has a lot to say on anger management. Unfortunately, in the literature available in every domains, there is hardly anything on what how we can practice the Gandhian principles to anger management, or say his ideas of the non-violent communication. You see, we all work in a different settings, whether it is in a family, whether in the colleges, or we are working in a workplace, in a corporate environment, so on and so forth. So there are always issues of conflict, because conflict is an organic part of our life. Like if Pooja ji says that there is no conflict in my life, it is not possible. We are all human beings, so there will be conflicts. So how we handle these conflicts is something which is challenging. It is very easy to fight with someone and break the relationship, but it is best if we can have a transformation of the relationship, and that's what Gandhian principles helps us. So we need to bring these ideas into the public domain on how these ideas, this philosophy can contribute to our overall well-being. And like say we have various practitioners here today, we most very large number of people are moving towards spiritual practices, because mindfulness training and all those things, so that we remain calm in difficult situations. So even so the Gandhian principles is also one of those principles of philosophy which contributes to these kind of how we can promote or encourage our own spiritual practices.
Nice, sir. Next question is, how do you design programs that reflect Gandhian values?
Yeah. So here, when I'm saying that, say for instance, I'm designing a teachers training program, okay, for inculcating Gandhian values for better classroom management practices. So in that context, what I'm going to do is we have done a lot of research on some of the critical issues and conflicts that happens in the classroom, the most unique for different types of things that happen in a classroom situation. Then we start making the framework, integrating the Gandhian values. So, for different principles, conflicts, or different issues in the classroom, we have a Gandhian values which helps in ameliorating those concerns or problems that may be there. Then we have a whole program on peer mediation, the Gandhian approach to peer mediation for school students. So it is such a powerful way. So we integrate the ideas of peer mediation in our training program. So we do this teachers training program with this framework in mind. Like say for instance, again I'm saying that we have conducted for trainings for judicial officers. So while designing the training program for judicial officer, we start with what is non-violent communication, understanding non-violent communication from a Gandhian perspective. Then we have a focus on understanding the self. how we understand ourselves, how we can enhance our self awareness, and also how we can, how we can reach out to ourselves, the non-violent intrapersonal communication, our self-talk or the inner dialogues. After that, what we do is we have done a lot of research on different say, judgments. At one stage, there will be a lot of judgments that we discuss with the judicial officers and see like whether they have those ideas of non-violent communication in some way or the other, because there are different elements of non-violent communication. And then we even talk on while writing a judgment whether a judge can think of bringing in some of these elements of non-violent communication or not. Of course, that doesn't mean that you will be very very lenient in a murder case. That's not. I'm saying in other normal cases, there is always a thin line, between someone who might have committed a very brutal crime or someone who is not that. So it all depends. But so we discuss all these at length with the judicial officer. So there is a whole package of training program, then the whole area of judicial empathy. So like that, we frame that particular training program. Then, say for instance, at a very basic level, when we are giving a training of non-violence to students, school students especially. Like you see today in today's world, like you will, I work with a lot of these children, and they have the very serious concerns and problems. They are always in stress. A, because there is so much of competition that they have to face. Whether you we find daily in the newspapers also, like those who are trying to go for different competitive exams now. Even I'm sure you are aware, so many suicide cases in Kota and other places and all. So we need to work on the issues of mental health. So the starting point has to be inner peace, and Gandhian values gives us that domain to see how we can work on our own inner, for our own inner transformation, how we can be more resilient to difficult situations, and also the inner peace. And so when we are developing that training program for the school student, we focus first on that, and then go on to work on how the students can work with the other children, peer mediation, how they can work on a peaceful coexistence, things like that. Yes.
Okay, very nice, sir. Moving on, next question. What is the most successful program you have led or been a part of?
As I said, all these programs we have been able to develop. One of the most successful programs, initiatives in the recent years have been a program we did as part of 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. We joined with the CBSC to impart trainings to the children, to teachers, to parents, and in fact, I remember CBSE telling me almost 70,000 students of these people, the stakeholders, they took our course on non-violent communication. And of course, this whole program on non-violent communication we are running with several colleges, and it has they got a very very big traction across, because as I said, it's so very important, because many of us are becoming very aggressive, a wanting to reach our goals, and with a shortcut, we because of that stress we become very aggressive. So this program has got a huge traction, and thankfully because of this program I'm now been able to reach out, globally. There are a lot of global stakeholders who reach out to me, and they are trying to implement this whole program of non-violent communication. I've been able to write some books on non-violent communication. That is definitely one of the most important areas. Then, of course, I always feel good about the success of the program with the judiciary. That has been a very successful one. The Gandhian approach to mediation and the use of non-violent communication for linking between the bar and the bench, as I mentioned to you earlier. Then many of the other one of the areas which I've been able to do well, recently I put together a book, The Joyful Talisman: Conversations with Human Values for a Joyful World. This I put together with a friend of mine. She's a senior journalist, Munaza. And this book has got a huge traction, not just within the country but globally. Because we felt that actually, you see, across the board, Pooja ji and Rima ji, you will probably agree with me that there is an erosion of human values in every sector, and so we thought we could address that. So this book actually addresses that. It is basically a conversation between myself and Munaza Shah. She's a journalist. So this book, like people are, of course, the English version is already out. It is doing well. But our aim is not just selling the book. Our aim is also we are raising, trying, all the publisher by selling the book, the amount he is able to earn. What we are already decided to do is we are developing a fellowship program for poor girl child, and this amount will go to the education of the poor girl child. Again, in a Gandhian way, it's not going to be freebies like say XYZ girl from a difficult area we are going to give her for her education. No, we are going to tell that girl that you will need to do some work back in the community. So, for instance, in her area, if there is a concern of health issues, so she could create an awareness on, say, health and hygiene in her area. So, like that, no, you have to give back to the community. That is most important today. So, that fellowship program we are done, and out of the blue, a lot of people are trying to translate that book. No, one Spanish a professor from Argentina, she translated this book of ours, The Joyful Talisman, into Spanish. And in fact, on Monday, they are going to release it globally. And she is trying to take these human values to the schools of Argentina and other Latin American countries. Because having as I talk to a lot of these people from the academics, teachers and all across, so there is a serious concern of this erosion of human values which we are talking about. So everyone feels that we need to catch them young, and we need to work with them to develop their human values. So this professor from Argentina, she is planning to have teachers training based on the our book, The Joyful Talisman. So that is again, you feel good about it, and we are trying to do for a cause. No, if we are able to, like this English one here in India, if also a Hindi version is coming out with. So if we are able to say help, even if five girl child with their education, we will be feeling very happy about it. No, you feel that inner satisfaction. Yes, please.
Nice, sir. Moving ahead, your next question is: how does the Smriti collaborate with other national or international organizations?
Sorry, how does
How does the Smriti collaborate with others national and international organizations?
You see, it's for us to collaborate. It's not a big problem because it's a government body. It's under the Ministry of Culture. So, and it is the national memorial. It's a very sacred place. It's a very because it's a place where the Mahatma was assassinated. It's a sacred place. So, it's not very difficult to collaborate with. Any university across the country or any government institution. So everyone is happy to collaborate and work because those who are interested to promote these values which the Mahatma stood for, it is something that can easily be done. Yes, please.
Okay. How has your academic background influenced your work?
You see, essentially, I'm a journalist by profession. My education, my PhD is also in journalism, and I have done a lot of work on media literacy. So you see, that's why non-violent communication. I'm basically a person from communication. So we are talking of communication in a big way. So, and if you try to link with the work, say, of Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi was one of the greatest communicator. We have so many people who have written on Mahatma Gandhi, the communicator, the journalist in Gandhi. No, he in his lifetime he edited so many newspapers, journals. No, right from the Indian Opinion to Navjivan to Harijan to the Young India, and he was a prolific writer. And if you see, all his writings have been compiled into 100 volumes, and that is the collected works of Mahatma Gandhi. So you can imagine the 100 volumes of collected works. So you can imagine the amount of writings he had done. And I remember one very senior journalist telling me the way he wrote, it was very difficult to edit whatever he could write. So in that way, my education in journalism is linked to, and as we journalists, we can be called as a generalist. Everywhere we can get fit in. No, that is one of the most important thing of being a communicator and a journalist. So that is what, and I continue to do a lot of work. As I said, media literacy. If you do a little bit of research, you will find a lot of my writings and work on media literacy, which has been published both nationally and internationally. And media literacy, I can tell you, both Pooja ji and Rima ji, is the need of the hour. It's so very important. Possibly you will realize that you are encountering so many media messages every second. Possibly you are in WhatsApp, you are in Instagram, you are in Facebook, you are in all over the social media. So but you don't know, probably Pooja ji doesn't know which information that she gets in WhatsApp, whether that is correct or not correct, or whether that is a fake thing or a not a fake thing, whether it is a real or unreal. Then we are in, we are ingesting, I will say that, like we eat food, we are ingesting a lot of these negative things all over. And in fact, there is a serious concern. Every time I go to a school, this is what the school teachers or the principals say. The children these days are so badly, influenced. Every one of us knows that there is a serious issue of mobile addiction, internet addiction. So, but the language they're picking up from the platforms like Netflix or other films or social media, they are think there is so much of negative, abusive things that are there. They pick up. They think it's a new normal. You know, if you go to the classroom, I don't know if you are visiting schools as frequently, possibly. Like and teachers are really shocked, like the way that many of the students are using those words in the classroom. So media literacy education is a need of the hour, and most importantly the digital media literacy, because we don't know what to do with so much of information, how to handle the media, how to handle the social media. So we are going berserk. So unless and until we, each of one of us, know how to use the media, how to construct the messages, what is real and what is unreal, that is a problem. And that's why I think media literacy is the need of the hour. And that is how, like, I'm looking at my work, and I keep on pushing with a, of course we are not many people in who are working on media literacy, but we feel that it's such a very important thing that needs to be done.
Exactly, sir.
It's nice, sir. Moving ahead, your next question is, how do you engage with youth in your programs?
How do you uh,
Engage with youth in your program.
okay, okay, you see, yeah. Like I myself, I reach out to large number of youth, not just in Delhi, but and not just across the country, but across the globe. And I feel that it's young people want to do a lot of things today, but they need to be given some kind of a direction on how to do, how to engage with people, how to engage with each other. Like, for I will just give you an example. We do a lot of programs with the youth who are involved with the Gandhi Studies Circles of Delhi University, and they are, mind you, like many of them are such a brilliant students, and they are that such kind of ideas. So you need to develop their leadership. And leadership, when we are talking, I'm talking of servant leadership, which Mahatma Gandhi was talking about, or Mahatma Gandhi himself. We learn from Mahatma Gandhi, the servant leader. Now, if you do a little bit of research on servant leadership, probably you will realize that it was something which was coined by Robert Greenleaf. And servant leader is basically serving the other persons. Now, serving the people who are working with you, or following with you, caring about them, developing that realm of trust with them, contributing to their well-being, contributing to their growth. So if we can instill in these young people that idea of servant leadership, they will be, much better. Like if tomorrow, if one of these students go and start their own business, they become an entrepreneur and they run their own business, they will not be, those kind of leader who, consider their juniors or those who are working under them as, such kind of a shit, or, you know uh, uh, the way they many in many organizations, people are handled when by the bosses. No, but if we can, and if you see globally, there are so many interesting research that has been done that top down leadership is something which is something, which is a old fashioned type of leadership. What the world needs is, more of servant leaders. So if we can instill some of these ideas and values in them, tomorrow when they run, or become a CEO of a company or run their own business, they will be able to reflect some of these values when they work in or lead their companies. So I think I engage with them from that particular angle. Like say on the 16th, we are doing a inter college elocution competition, uh, for college students, and this, we have given the theme, what do we learn from Mahatma Gandhi's leadership, and how you can instill them as a young leader. So that is how we can engage with them.
What strategies do you use to keep Gandhiji's idea relevant in today's society?
You see, previously when I was telling you that there are a lot of misconceptions and a lot of fake news and fake information. Again, the issue of media literacy coming into fore, are related to Mahatma Gandhi, which is going around. There are a lot of videos I have seen. There are a lot of, different kind of messaging that are there, because there are a lot of misnomers. So we need to come out of those things, and instead of just making Mahatma Gandhi a historical figure, of course, he's a great historical figure, but to bring him to the contemporary world, as I would like to underline the essence and the significance of integrating the Gandhian values in the emerging domains of knowledge and emerging areas or contemporary concerns and issues. So if we are able to do those things, you will find greater accept. People like, many people will say that young people don't see Mahatma Gandhi anymore because he is not that cool. But when I work with these students from the universities, they are quite excited because I'm able to bring to them a new domain and dimensions of Gandhian values which they cherish. Like some time back, we organized this program. This girl, one of the presidents of the Gandhi Studies Circle, she gave a brilliant presentation on leadership and what she learns from Gandhi's leadership. So we have to bring the exciting things which young people, the Gen Z, wants today. Like we have a whole training program on the Gandhian values in the age of AI. That's something very important. And young people will relate to that. We have to make him and his ideas relate to the contemporary period, relate to the young people's understanding and areas of interest. If we just focus on only those historical things, then no one will be interested. Then these misconceptions and misnomers will be more in way. But as soon as we bring in these ideas, like as I said, a lot of people. The other day, I conducted this workshop for students from 15 schools, and after the session, I was doing a feedback with them, and they said, "Sir, it was like a therapy for us because now it was just before the annual examinations." So they said, "Sir, it is a therapy. This session has been a therapy for us because it enlivens us. We are now de-stressed." So then they are going to be interested. Yes, this is an area where, if we are, integrating these principles, we will be de-stressed. We will have less depression. So why not? That is something we are all suffering, and so that makes it more palatable. It makes it more exciting to be part of it. So that's how we can promote, and we need to promote. And I can tell you, before I end this, I have been working with a lot of people across the world, and I'm not talking of senior academicians or professor in a particular university and all. I'm talking of common citizens of different countries. I will like to give you two, three examples which will help understand the essence of Gandhi. There was one book I wrote some time back on peace and non-violence. These were dialogues with people who are working on peace building across the world. But one of them was the most unique case. His name is Christian Volo Bethelson. He is from Liberia. You see, he was why it is he is unique is that he for 25 years of his life he was in the business of killing people. He was a rebel commander in Liberia. And in 2005, when the Liberian civil war ended, no, he was in the business of killing. So now the civil war has ended. What does he what can he do? So he was moving away from Liberia to the neighboring Ivory Coast, and he had his own vehicle loaded with guns and ammunitions, and he was going. So his vehicle got struck. Like he told all this during the course of the interview which I had with him. Of course, online, like we are having interaction now. And then there was another vehicle which had got struck, and that vehicle actually was of organization. You see the impact, the whole spread of Mahatma Gandhi across the world. Even in a small country like a Liberia, there is an organization called Everyday Gandhis, which is a small peace building organization. So these people actually convinced him ki what is the point in being so violent. Tomorrow you can be a rebel commander, any a gunshot and you might die. There is no guarantee, like when you are in this whole business of being rebel commander and all, so you can also be shot. You are killing people, you can also be killed. So there is that's not the life you're going to go. So then they convinced him, and now he goes around in different places of Africa to give sessions on non-violence. And while I was finishing off my interview, one of the most touching one-liner of his was that you Indians might think him as the father of the nation, but for me, Mahatma Gandhi is father of peace in the world, and I follow him like anything. Then I will give you another example from Africa, two other examples. In Sudan, there is a civil war going on, probably you might know. So, this person, Muhammad Mirgani, now he is from Darfur, which is one of the most, volatile and problematic conflict ridden place in Sudan. Now, unfortunately, he has lost his house. He's a refugee in Chad. A few years back, he told one day, probably, I think you Indians may not value the non-violence of Gandhi. I said, why do you think so? At that time, he was the president of the local, students union, the local university students union. He said, sir, you see, when I go to the university tomorrow, the kind of society I live in, I really don't know whether I will come back alive or not. So we are living in a very, very conflict driven society. So that's why we yearn for Gandhi's non-violence so that we can live peacefully. So that when I go to my university, I know I am coming back alive. Like these kind of amazing examples. Like I was working with this group from Malawi, again a very small country in Africa. So Victor, so when I was doing some kind of a webinar with them as part of Gandhi Smriti, I asked him, Victor, what is the name of your group so that we can put in our flyer. He said, you please write, it is Gandhi Consultative Forum. So I said, were you influenced by some Indian, by the way? He said, no, you are the first Indian I'm ever talking to. And we are convinced that his idea of non-violence is something which is needed in the world. And so we have decided to name our group Gandhi Consultative Forum. So you will find these are all very common people. They are not academicians or just down to earth people. So there is a lot of interest in that. The only thing is that how, like this friend, last example I will like to give with you. This person from Uganda, his name is Vin Gervin. He is a Congolese refugee staying in a refugee camp in the Nakivale refugee camp of Uganda. So he has been, he got in touch with me, and I gave him some sessions of Gandhi's non-violent communication. And you see, now he is training his other people in the refugee camp on Gandhi's non-violent communication. He has started a youth organization for peace over there. And one day I asked, he quoted something he wrote, and he quoted Gandhi. So I said, so Gervin, so now that you're working with me, so you have started reading Gandhi. He said, no, sir, I read my about Mahatma Gandhi when I was in secondary school, and from then I have been influenced by his idea of non-violence. So now that I met you, I am going to redouble my work to do something on that. So you see, that is something we all need to catch. The amazing, exciting, way which young people like Vin Gervin must be 26, 27, not more than that, who is trying to promote it. So that is what I'm saying.
It's nice, sir. Moving ahead, your next question is, what is one value you never compromise on?
Well, I think I don't, integrity is something very important. Integrity, truthfulness, and ethics. That's, I think, one should never compromise, and I don't want to compromise because I may not be able to do great things, but you know what Gandhi had said: the importance of the means and the ends. That means equal importance of the means and ends. So, for instance, I probably, if I use some wrong, dishonest method, I can go to some top echelon. But I'm using something, possibly, say, for instance, you are my competitor, so I'm trying to, you know, throw or crush you out of the whole race, and I am moving out, moving on the top. So that's not the way we should. That's not ethics. That's not morality. So I feel that even with some good intentions, with good integrity, we can do something better. You may not reach that highest echelon, but you can. Inner satisfaction is the most important when we are talking of spirituality and all. The most important is inner satisfaction. If I'm satisfied, that's fine. I may not be able to get to the highest echelon. That's okay. That's okay. Probably.
Okay, what
It sounds good, sir.
Sorry, please.
It sounds good, sir.
Huh, we may not need to move, like cutting someone out. What is the point, and also I believe in that power of the universe, like at some stage or the other, if I'm trying to push Rimaji out, it will that whole karma cycle will come to me, and I might be in a trouble in some way or the other. So there is no need. Let us all coexist, co-learn from each other, and try to do. What's the problem?
okay, what role does peace education play in your initiative?
What does the importance of peace education?
What role does peace education play in your initiative?
Acha, peace education. No, peace education. You see, when we are talking of human values, when we are talking of non-violence, uh, that is something very important. So these are all part and parcel of peace education. So what we are trying to reach out when we are, I am saying that when we are trying to reach out to the school students or college students with these ideas of non-violence or non-violent communication or various fundamental approaches to Gandhian values, that's all what we are talking about peace education. Also, it's important to tell young people or make them feel that what is important today is we must see things from multiple perspectives. That's again an angle which I would like to flag off. Many of us are, one sided, one tracked, and that doesn't help in our human growth. That doesn't contribute. We will not be able to contribute to our shared humanity when we just look at from our own perspective one particular thing, how I will gain out of it, and we are not concerned about the other people around us. So we need to, as part of the whole framework of peace education, we have to try to help on how importance of plurality as we are talking of India, unity in diversity. So plurality of views, ideas, thoughts, so that we grow as human beings. And when we grow as human beings, we will be able to contribute to a peaceful coexistence and a culture of peace, I suppose.
Nice, sir. Moving ahead, your next question is: can you share a personal story that shaped your worldview?
Okay, that shaped my worldview. Oh, that's a little tough question. Uh, One important, you see, I think possibly before Gandhi Smriti, I was working with the United Nations volunteers and in the UNDP here in India. And our boss used to be someone called Shantam Seth. He's now internationally known mindfulness trainer, uh, giving training to people across the world, corporates, different people, and all. You see, this he has had a great influence on me, which really shaped my views. One of the important views that shaped, which I still continue, is something very important. Is that he was a boss. He could have been a boss. Like every now and then, he used to make us feel that he was not the boss. He was basically, he needed to be seen as a friend, and that gave within me that if you are a leader, if you're a boss, at that time also he was very well as the head of the United Nations volunteers in India. That means he's the head of a UN agency in India. He uh, he always know that friendly thing, someone like I was talking about servant leadership. So from then onwards I thought, like, how you can be someone like him, how you can follow his footsteps. No, he has this whole program now on the footsteps of the Buddha. So on the footsteps of our dear friend Shantam, because you need to learn certain values from such kind of people. Even when you are at your highest pinnacle. I remember we were there in a conference, international conference in Geneva, and he was in the inaugural session, and the whole all the participants, he took them through a process of mindfulness prayers. So, like, when you have reached such a certain height, you are still so very humble. I think that is a very important thing you learn from people like them, and that, I think, started changing my views. Earlier, my views was that if you have reached some highest position, you can be blatant, you can do whatever you may like, or things like that. You need to be very absolutely rigorous. You have to deal with your juniors, things like that. But the whole thing changed when I started working with him. And it was not a one day experience, it was a continuous experience with him. And he continues to be my very good friend. So I always feel that many of my views that I'm talking about, probably his whole role, he had an important role to play, you know. So that's why the last one of the previous books I had written, it was a imaginary conversation. No, it was a conversation with Bapu, as if as if we are talking. So I and my friend Munasa, we wrote this conversation with Bapu, and there I had requested Shantam to write a message, because I really felt that it was so important to have his message for me.
Okay, very nice, sir. Moving ahead, next question. What is your morning routine like?
Okay, morning routine. You see, we have to go to office, but of course, in the morning I will do a little bit of meditation, and then, of course, try to understand. Of course, I read the newspaper. I prefer reading the newspaper than reading it over the screen. So I will write the newspaper, and then, as usual, we have to go to the office. So generally that is. But of course, on a holidays, many of us end up getting up late. But probably on holidays, I end up getting up much earlier than my normal routine, so that I can start working. There are several book projects I'm still working on. like this book on mediation, which is coming, just finished and gave it to the publisher. There is a book on conscience that I'm writing, the importance of conscience. So that is, I've work on it. Then the sequel to the Joyful Talisman, which is just published. So so the routine is on the on the holidays. I would get up much earlier than usually, so that I can, those morning hours are precious, and we can finish a lot of writing work by then. So, but nothing spectacular in that way, I can say.
Okay,
Okay,
and your
moving
last
ahead, your
question is,
next question is, what legacy could you like to leave behind?
Oh, that's again legacy. You see, after we put together this book, The Joyful Talisman, myself and Munasa, we feel that we need to work to contribute to the promotion of human values in the world, and we need to promote loving kindness. We need to promote compassion. We need to promote empathy. That pure love for each other, the love which Mahatma Gandhi was talking about, or Martin Luther King, or Mandela, and other leaders we can think of. Uh, uh, those values which probably Swami Vivekananda was talking about. So these things, now it has, and also this whole idea of spiritualism, linking spiritualism to the idea of non-violent communication, spiritualism to the idea of human values. So these are the things I would like to work. As I said, we are very, very excited. We really feeling good, as so many people across, not just across India, but even internationally, are looking at this book of the Joyful Talisman for human values. So I think probably that is something which we would, probably one would love, that people would remember, that yes, someone could work on, even though in a very, very small, because we are all people, we can just, it can be a small little, very, very small drop in the whole ocean, but still I think that matters. We need to contribute, we need to work, we need to do service, even if it is the minutest level. So possibly that is the thing we would love to. We would love to see Joyful Talisman as a framework for promotion of human values at a global level. That is something which we would like to do.
okay, very great speech. So, moving ahead, we would like to express our sincere gratitude, Dr. Vedabhyas Kundu, Programming Officer, Gandhi Smriti and Darshan Samiti, being our guest for today. At Conversation with Consultants, your presence and engagement help to make it a success. Thank you for providing insight into your inspirational journey. And once again, thank you a lot.
Thank you very much. So would you be sharing the video with me? I would love to, share with my friends and others.
Yeah, I will share you
Sure, sir.
later.
Yes, yes. Thank you. It was really
Okay.
wonderful talking to both of you, Pooja ji and Rima ji. So I'm sure we'll be in touch, and like it's such a great honor that you could find me to talk to you and converse with you. I really, please accept my deepest gratitude uh, for this. I really thank both of you for this conversation. I really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Further, we could also like to thank our audience listening patiently throughout the event. Thank you everyone for joining with us today and hope that everyone has gained some knowledge from this event. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that our next episode 53 of Conversation with Consultants held be next weekend. We hope to see you all there. Thank you again and we look forward to reconnecting with you next week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us all social media handles to stay connected with us. Goodbye and have a great day ahead. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, can I leave now if you please permit?
Yeah, you leave now.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.